All right, start over again. All right, from the top. Happy Father's Day to all you boys and girls out there. Hope your day went all right so far. I did a bunch of work around the house. Typical, typical. Don't get done unless Joe does it. That's the way it is. Want done right, gotta do it yourself. All right, so hope you guys all liked my video I dropped. The last one, snapping hip and arthritis and total hip replacement. Seems to be doing all right so far. I think I got my swing on again when it comes to videos and dropping them, and so more to come. I think my next one, I'm going to do a series on neck and shoulder. Like, if I have neck and shoulder pain, how the heck do you tell the difference between one or the other? So I'm going to do a video on that next. Uh, maybe we'll start with the neck and kind of work our way down. I won't get too crazy specific with the neck because we could do that all day long. But at least I want to really zoom in on if you have a neck and shoulder pain, what the heck's going on? Is it coming from the neck? Is it coming from the shoulder? Or is it coming from both spots? So I'm going to try and, it's not easy to do in one video. So I might have to split up in two, depending on how it works out. But anyways, that's more to come. It's in the, as I call it, pre-production phase. Anyways, so let's talk about horror stories. So this is a horror story. Oh shoot! This is when I was going to PT school, and so I was still working full time. Worked full time all the way through PT school, but so I was a student, and I was about 3 hours and something from where I lived to where I went to school because my program was a Friday, Saturday, Sunday full time program, trimester school. If you all know what that means, it means that I means I worked my ass off. That's what it means. I didn't sleep much, 5 hours a day maybe, something like that. Late night studies, presentations, reports, research, you name it. Then work all day. Yeah, took a little bit of time off so I could drive down to school, which is like I said, 3 hours to stay down there on the weekends, staying with strangers, but we're wonderful people. Hell of experience. That's the story of my life and a lot of people's lives. You either focus or fold. Got a lot of folders out there. Hopefully you're not one of them. Anyways, so that horror story I was going to talk to you about. Like I said, I'm a student. Just imagine your first semester there. You're all excited. You got into school. Started out with 300 applicants. You get multiple interviews, and they weed it down to 30 something, and then out of 30 something, 17 go through the program. So pretty exciting. Everybody's just like pumped on cloud nine at first several days, and it's gross anatomy 101. So it's you're in there with the cadavers, and you don't. Some people were freaked out about it. Some people weren't. I wasn't. Amazingly enough, I wasn't. I would have thought maybe I might have been, but it didn't bother me. You had the corpse, the person. They're lying on their back. No, I'm sorry, I was wrong. They're lying on their stomach initially, so you don't see their face. So those first, oh shoot, it's a long time ago now, but probably the first 3 weeks, 4 weeks. So we were in class we had gross anatomy and gross physiology. We had two different cadavers. And so the horror story is all this all the formaldehyde, or the not formaldehyde, but some derivative of it. Oh man, those labs. Yeah, people with Vicks, people getting sick from the Vicks, sick from the chemicals. That That's a hell of a horror story. It didn't amazing enough how to get sick. I think I was just so excited. A lot of the other people were, and but yeah, you just let they're on their stomach, and you're just we had three people to a person, to a body, and it was a combination of PT, pre med, physician assistant, and nurse practitioners. So that was the four in there. The four of us, kind of the way the college was. It tried to those main courses: anatomy, physiology, um, kinesiology. I think of the other core classes. It's been such a long time, but anyways, those core classes that really make up, you know, everybody's initial part of their discipline. It really is the foundation. So, and they're also called the weed out classes. So it's one of those things where you either make it or break it, either focus or fold, like I said earlier. Whether it's classwork or whether it's life, focus or fold. So, um, but yeah, I think we started on the back. I'm certain of that. I can't remember if it was upper or mid or lower back, but it was one of those things. So, anyways, it was a hell of a time, and you come in for the test, and they would literally just like you see out there in those TV shows, they just have a pin there with a flag, and you got to tell them what it is. Now that could be a muscle, it could be a nerve, it could be an artery, it could be a vein. Yeah. It's you better know your stuff backwards and forwards. So, it's one of those people always ask, how the heck did you do that? Because basically, for gross anatomy wasn't too bad, once you got used to all the Latin terms, but um, you they break it up into groups, and so that you at least, when you're studying for stuff, you at least can kind of break it up in that fashion. You're gonna learn all the muscles of the shoulder, and obviously it's actually called the shoulder girdle complex, and so all the muscles that attach to the shoulder, the muscles that are attached somewhere else that go to the shoulder, and the ones that just sit on the shoulder itself, whether it's the scapula, the glenohumeral, or the clavicle. So it all really depends. So it's a big dog and a tiny dog. So the harder part for me probably was physiology. I did well in both, um, but definitely physiology, because you have to, that's just, for instance, the kidney. I mean, you got to know all the parts of the kidneys, how it processes. Same thing with every other organ: the liver, the heart, the brain, all the major organs of the body. Then the artery, nerves, and veins, all the nerves, how they start, where they branch and change names, and uh, it's pretty intense. You know, I go back and look at those books. It's like, man, I learned all that at one point in this crazy head of mine. Anyway, so that's the horror story. That first one is people getting sick. It could have been just nerves too. People getting sick because of nerves. You just don't know. But let's see, horror story number 2. Oh yeah. So this is probably, I don't know. I'm definitely doing outpatient at this point. I've probably been with the hospital maybe 3 or 4 years. And at that point, early on, they had the outpatient attached to the hospital, and we were on one floor. And this girl had an ankle fusion. So what they do, and this is called trimalleolar fusion. So essentially, the bones that stick out in your ankle on either side, they're called the malleolus. There's a medial and lateral. One on the inside is the medial, one on the outside is the lateral. But that all being said, so they end up, and then you have a bone in the center. I wish I could show you on a picture. It'd probably be a little bit easier. But ooh, there's a bunny rabbit. Pretty tame there, bunny. Yeah, bunny rabbit. Hey, bunny. So, anyways, so yeah, she had a fusion, and oh my heavens! Don't get me wrong, I know it was painful, but I mean, I'm seeing this girl. She might have been 24, and you think they broke her leg? I mean, oh my lord! Now I had seen her 4 weeks post-op, I think. So she had her surgery, and I saw her for about a month after for outpatient, and where she was supposed to be in the ankle protocol, surgical protocol, she wasn't even close. She was back at like day 5, and she's supposed to be a month in. Crying and bellyache. Oh, all this pain. Oh, it's numb. It's always numb. And can't stand on it. She won't stand on it. Won't put no weight in. Imagine this. She hasn't put any weight through the ankle in a month. And you're supposed to be putting weight. In this instance, about 2 weeks. Whose weight bearing is tolerated. So it's ridiculous. So things are getting tight in her ankle because she ain't putting no weight on it. She ain't stepping on it. She's fearful. So we got what's called fear avoidance syndrome going on. Yes, that's an actual it's a fear avoidance. There's actually a thing called that. So we had to literally go back and tell the surgeon, hey, Mr. So and so, your patient hasn't done anything for the last 4 weeks. And so I don't get the physician. I get probably nurse. I think I got the nurse practitioner. I can't remember. It wasn't the MD. And they're like, oh yeah, we know about this person. They come in the office 2 weeks post-op, and we knew they weren't doing anything. We knew it was going to be terrible. So on and such. I'm like, well, this is going to be a long haul because this patient is like 3 weeks behind where they should be. So, and they ain't doing well at all. Anyways, so it took I think 4 months before she was actually walking. Hey, so it's 4 months since she was actually walking on it. I mean, not even like I'm walking. I think at that point, I think I had her at like a cane. Yeah, she wouldn't use crutches because she wasn't coordinated enough. She'd probably fall and hurt her ankle again. So yeah, that was the spiel with horror number 2. Yeah, and this goes for. I know this is a broad broad paint stroke statement I'm gonna say here, but there's some trend, there's some consistency with this. Younger people cannot tolerate pain at all. No, I know it's a generality. I mean, there's always outliers and variables and all this other nonsense, but if I was to take 10 people with the same injury and the same surgery, and then I was going to go ahead and have 10 people in their, let's say, mid to late 20s and early 30s, and the other ones in their 50s and 60s with the same surgery. The ones that are in their 50s and 60s are going to get it Mohawk. The ones that's in their 20s and 30s are going to piss and moan and cry. It's it's almost a universal, like physics, universal laws. And that'd be one of them. So it's quite amazing how that is. Yeah, I see it in all aspects. I mean, if you're really young, I can understand because you're really emotionally not developed. Um, your really your awareness of truly what pain is and what it is, and the different facets and types of pain. I can understand when you're really young, but I mean, 20s and 30s, you're not young, you're just dumb, young and dumb. Get it? But so yeah, I mean, that seems to be the horror stories. I had a lot of those through the years, and whether it was a sprain and the person acted like they broke their ankle or broke their knee. And it's like, okay, you didn't fracture any bone. I mean, did an MRI and you don't have any ligaments torn in your knee. Then why can't you walk? Oh, it hurts. Everything hurts. I'm like, okay. It's like at some point it's kind of something's not right there. Not emotionally developed or something. So, con- contactless curbside pickup. I don't even know what that means. Funny how you read things. You're like, okay, what's that really mean? Anyways. So, what is it? 17 minutes. So, just do a nice little walk here. So, yes, like I kind of wrap this up. So, I'm hoping you all like the video that I dropped. More to come. I think it ended up being three of the newest ones about the hip and snapping hip arthritis, and like total hip replacement. And then kind of gave you guys some ideas of some of my old videos of how to differentiate the difference between tendonitis and bursitis and tendinosis and peritendinitis and all those other things. So yeah, next one's neck and shoulder. So hopefully leave a like, and until next time, look up and keep smiling. Bye, folks.